everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought that it would be really fun to do a travel tag because I have not done a tag in a really long time. Okay, and featuring Phoebe. Okay, yes, thank you. Hey, can you sit down? Can you sit down, please? Can you sit down, please? Okay. I'm gonna have to lock you out if you're not gonna listen to me. Stop. Can you sit? No? Can you sit? Sit. Sit. Good girl. Can you lay down? Good girl. Can you stay, please? Thanks. Okay. So we're gonna do a travel tag today, and I thought that that would be really fun. They're just a few questions, just so you can kind of get to know my travel experiences. So let's just get right into it. So the first question is, what age were you when you started traveling? I was 16 or 17, and it was a high school trip, actually. My high school was really small, and one of the teachers every year would take a group of the graduates on a vacation, so that was really fun. It was my first time out of Canada and out of the province, actually, and that kind of really was what set my travel passion into motion. Where was your first travel? So we went to Costa Rica, and I'm going to insert some pictures as I go through this. So we did go to Costa Rica. Insert photos here. Like I said, it was my first time out of the country, first time out of the province, and it was a really cool experience. What countries have you visited and lived in? I've only ever lived in Canada, but let's see, I've been to half of Canada, the United States. I've been to Croatia and England. And I think that's it. I think I've been to 4 countries. I want to say that's all. I did take slight detours through Italy, Bosnia, and Slovenia as well. So I don't know if that counts, but it was kind of cool. Where is your dream place to go and why? That's a good question. I don't really know. I like tropical areas. I like areas that are really warm. I don't know that I really have a dream destination. I think that there's a lot of places in the world that I haven't seen yet, and I think that it's really difficult to say where that dream vacation would be if I've only ever seen a small corner of the world. I do really want to island hop Greece. That's kind of been on my bucket list for a very long time. So maybe island hopping Greece, I guess, is probably my dream place to go right now. What are your favorite memories from traveling? Hawaii is always, for me, like my favorite place. I love the culture there. I love the environment. The people there are so friendly and welcoming. I find that most places, people are very friendly and welcoming, and that really adds to your experience. It makes you want to go there again. I don't know that I really have one favorite either because every place is so different. Alaska was geographically the most gorgeous place I'd ever been in my entire life. And every country is just so different. It's really hard to say like what would be like one favorite experience. I think that I have favorite memories from every place that I've been. What 3 things do you bring with you when you travel? A tablet, my phone. I use my phone as a camera and my tablet for entertainment. I always bring something for the plane. So if it's not electronic, I like to bring word searches. I actually have one sitting right here. I always bring these on the airplane with me just because they're super easy to get through, and you just kind of do them on the airplane if you're bored trying to wind down or just trying to relax before you go to sleep. Favorite food you've tried from another country? I love the food in Hawaii. In Croatia, they make a really amazing goulash that is so delicious. So yeah, I think the goulash in Croatia was probably one of the best that I've had. That was always really amazing. And also, another thing too, as a North American, it's really hard to get amazing pasta here. Like, it doesn't matter if you're in a restaurant, and obviously buying it from a store is not the same thing, but when you go to the Mediterranean and they serve you fresh pasta that they've just made by hand, it's the most incredible food I've ever had in my life. And it just, like, it tastes different. There's, like, it just hits different, you know. It's a different flavor, different feeling, and it's incredible. And for the longest time, when I came home from Croatia, I did not want to eat pasta here because it just did not taste the same. A few words you've learned from travels. Croatia is really the only foreign country that I've been to. Hvala means thank you. And that's pretty much all I remember, unfortunately. But I do remember thank you, so that's something. You made friends from other countries, and how did you meet them? Yes, I have quite a few friends from other countries. I have a few friends in England, and I have one in Switzerland. Most of them that I've met were not through my travels. They were through, so when I was in university, we obviously had study abroad students, and that's how I met them. I have one in Norway, I think, as well. A girl I went to middle school with is living in Denmark, so I kind of have friends all over the globe, not necessarily from my travels alone, but also from their travels as well. What was your most memorable moment traveling? Now, it's not necessarily a good memory, but when I went to Costa Rica, I was obviously young and naive and stupid, and I don't even remember where we were, but we were right on the beach, like one of the hottest parts of Costa Rica, and I did put on sunscreen, but we were on the beach all day, and I didn't reapply, and I ended up with third-degree sunburns. I'm not going to insert a picture because it's probably triggering for some people, but literally blisters the size of apricots. I was wrapped in bandages head to toe, had to get a shot in my butt. That was an experience. And they almost didn't let me back on the airplane to go home because I was so burnt. It was awful. It was an awful experience. And fun fact about getting third-degree sunburns, you don't actually feel it until they start healing. I didn't know that my blisters were so bad until quite a lot later that day. I think I went and took a shower, and it wasn't until I got out and started drying off that I realized I had blisters on my back. And I didn't feel them. Everybody was like, oh, you must be in so much pain. I really wasn't. It didn't hurt until I got home and they started healing. That was painful. And I shed my skin like a snake. It was disgusting. But yeah, definitely the most memorable experience for sure. The worst moment of your travels. I don't know that I've had a worst moment. We did come very close to missing a flight once. Like running to the gate, almost not let on. During a connection. I think it was between LA and Hawaii or something. Something similar to that. That was pretty terrifying. I thought for sure we were going to miss our flight. But yeah, I don't think that I've really had any like bad experiences. I don't know if it's because I'm Canadian or if I just look approachable, but I find that I get really friendly service from everyone everywhere. I've never had a really bad experience in another country that I can think of. So obviously not very memorable if it did happen. So I guess I don't really have any negative experiences, which is good. I'm sure I'll run into some at some point, but I would prefer not to. Where would you like to go visit again and why? Hawaii. I'd love to do Hawaii every year if I could. Honestly, Waikiki is probably my favorite place. I know a lot of people say that it's super touristy and super crowded and not to go there, and I agree, it is super touristy and it can be a little bit expensive and it is a little overcrowded. The beach is overcrowded, but I love it. I love everything about that little area. I always stay in a hotel really close to the beach. There's an aquarium and a zoo right across from the beach. Like, it's amazing. It's the most amazing little spot that I've ever been to, ever. And I would go there every year if I could. I love it there so much. There's also a lot of other Hawaiian islands that I have not been to yet that I probably would like to. At some point in my life, I would like to island hop Hawaii as well. So that's also a goal that maybe will happen sometime in my life, which would be pretty cool because I love Hawaii. Do you have any plans for upcoming travels? Yes, I do. As soon as COVID is over, I plan to leave to the UK on a working holiday visa. I will be in Europe for 2 years, backpacking around. I am an independent contractor, so I'm hoping that that's enough for me to be able to fund my travels, really. But the visa is a great backup for if I need to pick up work from somewhere and just help me fund my travels a little bit. My plan is to hopefully just be able to pick up a few shifts in a hostel, maybe work at a cafe for a month or two, just something super temporary so that I can build my funds up and go. And I do plan on vlogging the entire thing, my entire journey. Obviously the visa is good for 2 years. My goal is to be there for 2 years. I don't know what I'm gonna feel when I'm there. I might not even want to stay for the 2 years. I might decide to stay longer. So it's really touch and go at this point. Obviously with COVID world, it's really hard to predict what's gonna happen. But as soon as it's over and I'm vaccinated, I'm out of here. So keep an eye out for that because they're gonna be really fun and I'm super excited to share those adventures with you. Why do you travel? I love it. It's the only thing in my life probably that I'm passionate about. I love the culture. I love getting to know new people. I love immersing myself in new ways of life. I think that for me personally, I get really bored really quickly and I like to move on from things all the time. If I don't have to stay in one place for too long, I don't. I've been through several jobs in my life simply because I get bored, which is one of the reasons why I became an independent contractor. It's easier for me to manage. I love to learn new things and I love to see new places, and the world is so big and life is so short, and for me, I can't understand why anybody would only want to stay in one place for the rest of their life. Like, I can't even imagine not getting on an airplane and seeing the rest of the world. You know what I mean? So for me, it's the culture, it's the experience, mostly the life experience. I think it just kind of makes you see things from a different perspective, in a different light, and it's good for you. Let's be real, it's good for you. Good for your soul, good for self-exploration, self-reflection, all that kind of stuff. Have you ever traveled for work and where? I'm a travel agent now, so yes, I will be traveling for work. I have not yet. My goal, and another reason I'm going to Europe for that long is because I want to specialize in Europe. So I really want to go kind of like off the beaten path a little bit, see like all the hidden gems in the local districts and stuff so that I can better myself in my career and recommend amazing places for my clients. So that's also another thing that I'm hoping to see in my future as well. I might be able to go on a bunch of cruises. I might be able to go stay at a resort somewhere. I'm expecting to have trips to the Caribbean at some point. I'm sure the company that I am paired with will have plenty of opportunities for me to see some really cool places. So I'm really excited for that as well. What climates do you prefer? I really like tropical climates, places that are really warm and hot. I live in Canada, so 6 months to 8 months out of my life a year are spent in cold, snowy weather. And we've been really fortunate this year, actually, that our winter has been really dry and sunny and not nearly as cold as it usually is. So I'm very thankful for that because that's my kind of weather. I do get seasonal depression, so I need the sunshine. that being said, I'll go anywhere. I really will. I'll go anywhere. Vitamin D is always more than welcome, but I'm willing to see the entire world. So, preference, warm, dry climate, not mandatory. What is the first thing you check out when you go to a new country? It depends on whether or not I'm jet lagged. When we fly to Hawaii, I like to go straight to the beach. In England, I like to hang out in my hostel for a little bit until jet lag passes, but I really like to go out and just explore. My first day alone in London a few years ago, I just went for a walk around the city and I felt so safe and it was so liberating. It was just such an exhilarating feeling to be able to go out and do that by myself. And I got lost, but it was the most incredible thing. I ended up in like this park in the middle of London where people are eating picnics in this little pocket park that used to be a cemetery. I'm looking around me and there's gravestones so old you can't even see what they say anymore. So like, it's really just about like the little things. I'll insert a picture here of where I got lost the first time I went to London. They were also filming like I don't know if it was a series or a movie or a commercial, but they were filming something and I just walked right past them on the sidewalk. So that was pretty cool. Just like, you know, little things. You just see like the little ways of life and the way the city moves in different areas of the world is always so different. You can be sitting out there middle of the night and, you know, it hits different every single time, and it's just a really cool feeling. If you haven't traveled alone before, I highly recommend you to do so. Have you ever traveled around your home country, and where is your favorite place there? Yes, I have. I've been as far east as Ontario. I live in BC. I've also been to the Northwest Territories. My favorite place is probably Western Alberta. There's some really, really beautiful places in Alberta. Canmore is a beautiful place. I love driving through there every single time. Even if you don't get out and do anything, you're driving right through the mountains, and it's the most beautiful view. There is a point between the BC-Alberta border where you see the Rockies, and that's a pretty cool thing to experience as well. Elkford in BC is a beautiful place. There's just so many different corners of the world where everything is so gorgeous. The Inside Passage between Alaska and BC as well is also stunning, and it photographed really well. Just some really beautiful places, and places that you don't really think twice about. So, I mean, I love travel, in case you haven't figured it out already. What is your favorite thing about traveling? I love getting on an airplane. I love getting to the airport 3 hours early and like thinking about what your experience is going to be like. It's just like, it gets my adrenaline pumping, you know? Like there's nothing that gets my dopamine going more than being in an airport. I love it, especially when I'm going somewhere. Like I just get so excited. I get so excited to go through security and get to the other side and then have lunch or breakfast in a Starbucks on the airplane and standing in line to like check your ticket. I love that. I don't know what it is about being in an airport for me, but I think it's like the thrill of knowing that you've worked hard to get to where you're going and you've finally gotten there, and it's such a fulfilling feeling. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but for me that's a huge thing, just being in the airport. A lot of people hate airports. I could honestly live in an airport. I love it so much. I love sitting on the airplane too. Like there's nothing about it that I don't really like. Albeit I'm a very small person, so even when I'm in economy, it's not super uncomfortable for me. So, I mean, it's not hard to be bigger than me. I'm very tiny, so if you're, you know, average size, you might not feel so comfortable on an airplane, but for me, the airport's the most exciting part. What are your top travel tips for other people? Pack half as many clothes and twice as much money. 3 times as much money is even better. If you don't wear it now, you don't need to pack it for later because you're not going to use it. Save as much space as possible. Try to fit everything in a carry-on if you can. If it's feasible for you, definitely do it that way. Always pack a first aid kit. Also underwear, ladies, please do not sacrifice the amount of underwear that you bring with you. You never know. You never know when it's gonna happen. If you overpack on anything, let it be panties, okay? Like, don't, just trust me. Underwear, lots of it. Most important, more money than you think you'll need. And safe space. And I think that is probably all I have for you today. That's my tag. I don't really have anybody to tag in it. If you're a travel channel and you like this video and you like this tag, then go ahead and steal it. Make sure you let me know that you've taken it so that I can go watch your video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. If you don't mind, stick around for a while, get comfortable, because I've got lots of content coming for you in the future. Super excited to share my travel journeys with you, and we'll go on an adventure together. See you next time.